Hello and welcome to Created by Law. This is Lachelle speaking, designer and founder. Today we are going to be using our regular clothes to make a pattern. I am actually making a puffy coat, so I'll be using a jacket. It's actually one of my dad's old jackets that he was about to throw away. So I figured I would use it before it fell into the trash. I found this method on YouTube. Normally, I will go to a store with cheap clothes with the clearance like Forever 21, and I will purchase something in the size that I am trying to make and cut it up and trace the pieces that way. But if you are not trying to cut anything, or you just rather design your own pattern this way, I found that it actually works. So what I do is just follow the seams of the jacket and trace it as is. As you can see, I am adding a 1-inch seam allowance just because I am doing a puffy coat, so I wanted to allow for, space for the batting and the puffiness. Now looking back, the jacket that I was using had a bit of a shape to it. Everything was kind of rounded. So I would go back and straighten off some of the parts, but it worked. To ensure that I am accurately tracing the lines of the jacket, I'm always following the seam. And I'm using my fingers and kind of feeling the jacket up to make sure that I'm getting exactly the same lines. Now you see me adding seam allowance to the top of the sleeve, but I realized later that I don't need to because that is a fold line, not a sew line. Now we have the torso and the sleeve. And to make patterns, I use either just regular crafting paper. Sometimes I can get it from Dollar Tree, Michael's, Walmart, or I'll use pattern paper with inch squares from Joann's. I'll put a link to it in the description. So I think the key to this is always checking and making sure your pieces match. To ensure that both sides of the torso were even, I decided to fold the paper in half and copy one side from another. For the collar, I just trace a collar and I use the same method as I did for the back of the jacket. Mark the halfway point and do half of the collar and then fold the paper in half and do the other half just to ensure continuity between both sides. Now we should have 4 pieces: a collar, a sleeve, side torso, and back torso. This is when I remembered to cut that extra seam allowance on the sleeve because I realized we don't need it. That is actually a fold line, like I said earlier. And now, time to get into making the jacket. I will be posting part 2 of this video where you can watch me make the puffy coat on Wednesday. And on that note, have a wonderful day and remember to be uniquely you. Bye!